How you doing? Duff here. Right now I'm laying underneath my 1996 Chevy Express 1500 van. Those of you that keep up with my videos, you might know that I just took the van on a cross-country trip. Totaled about 5,500 miles, went as far west as the Grand Canyon. Overall, the van did very well for me. Had a couple check engine lights when we were up at altitude. The O2 sensors were throwing some check engine lights, but I believe that's kind of normal when you're in the thin air with a vehicle that's normally at sea level, so they clear themselves over time. But one thing I did notice is the last couple days the van was sounding loud to me, and I figured out once I got back that was because this joint here was falling apart. The gasket was gone, and none of the three bolts that are supposed to hold this flange together, one looked like it was missing and the other two had no nuts on them, which I'm not sure why that would be. But anyways, when I got home, I took the joint apart and I thought that I'd be able to knock these bolts, what I thought were bolts, through, and I was unsuccessful in doing so. I hammered on one of them and it broke. I have one intact up top yet, but when I looked at the back, you can see it's a round head, which means it was probably pressed in, not screwed in, so I don't even know that I could get it out at all. My options would be I could replace the entire muffler, which would cost a good chunk of money with a vehicle like this. I'm guessing somewhere around 300 bucks. Or, in my case, what I'm going to try to do is put a new gasket in here and clamp this together with a flange repair kit. I'm not quite sure if it's going to work or not. If that doesn't work, I was thinking about maybe drilling an auxiliary hole in here and just bolting it with regular bolts. I'm not sure if that would work either. This is pretty thick. That would be pretty tough to drill, especially with the clearance I have. Right now the van's jacked up with my 7,000-pound floor jack with auxiliary jack stands, because I definitely don't want this falling on me. So anyways, I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to put my gasket on, slap the joint back together, and then get out that flange repair kit thing and see how viable it is. Okay, you can see the condition that my old gasket was in. No condition at all. Here's my new gasket. Got this from Advance Auto, part number 31571. It's a Walker exhaust gasket. Hope it fits. Okay, that gasket does fit. So my plan was, since I have one hole stud and half of one, that I can get it lined up on the holes okay, press it together, and hopefully use this flange repair kit to press the joint tightly together. It'd be cool if I had a nut to fit that bolt up top, but it's so rusted and nasty I can't believe it would even thread on. But I'm going to get the kit out and see what my options are. Okay, that clamp that I got, the auxiliary flange clamp, that's not going to work. It's not even big enough. It was for a 2.5-inch pipe. Looks like this is, I don't know, 3. It's this huge pipe. So right now I am trying to drill out the one stud. There's only like half of it in that hole. I'm going to try to drill that out. Use one of the bolts that came with that kit to bolt that part of it together. Up top, hopefully I can find a nut that'll maybe fit that one. And I'm going to improvise from there. Well, luckily for you, I haven't been filming over my last hour plus of screwing with this, trying to get this one stud out. Burned through 2 drill bits that I had, went to Home Depot, just got another one. Through a combination of drilling and hitting with a mini sledge and I don't know what you want to call this thing, a center punch, big ass center punch. I was able to pop that rivet out, or that stud out. So now I'm going to put the gasket in place. I'm going to use a auxiliary bolt and washer, lock that up tight, see how tight it is, and then I might try to see if I can get a nut on that old stud up top, but that one's, the threads are all bitched up on that, so I'm not expecting to have much luck with that, but let's see how it goes. Here's what my joint looks like after putting the replacement bolt, washer, block washer and nut on. It's a 3/8 inch stainless steel bolt, 2.5 inches long. Less than ideal, you know, because these are just sitting on here. But it's better than it was, and it's sealed. I don't detect anything leaking out. Okay, I got that nut locked on there tight. The van sounds better than it did. I mean, it was sounding loud because it was basically on there. That joint had no nuts on it whatsoever, and the gasket was all blown out. So, but I can only get that one on, the one that I popped out. I couldn't thread a bolt on that other stud. That would probably snap anyways. So for now, I'm calling it good enough. Eventually, if I feel like it, I might take it to a garage and have them knock those studs out and just put bolts in like I did. But I just, with the space I have and the tools I have, it's about as good as I can do. So I'll call this job a third successful, since I got one bolt in. But it's good enough for now. I was underneath there. I don't hear anything hissing out. It's not spitting water like it was, so it's definitely a lot more secure than it was. So anyways, for now, that's it. Duffman out. The moral of the story is trying to do anything with exhaust bolts or studs sucks.